What do sunrises, mermaids, frying pans, cold weather, and beignets have in common? The Run Disney Princess Half Marathon Weekend, of course. A few days ago, we were graced with the presence of the 2024 Princess Half Marathon Weekend event guide, and we'll be taking a dive into it in detail in this video. Whether it's your first Run Disney event or 100th, there's some things to note in this guide that you'll want to be sure and stay tuned for. Perfectly princess running shoes on and tied, let's go. And just as a reminder, please use the timestamps below to navigate through to portions of the guide that are applicable to you. The event guide opens in usual fashion with a welcome from our new leader, Adam Ball. In his welcome letter, he mentions the Run Disney community, celebrated charity Starlight Children's Foundation, cast members, and the Run Disney team, and reminds us how excited they each are for this event weekend. After you've read through the main stage area of the event guide, you'll move over to the Digital Expo tab. Here, you'll be able to read more about the celebrated charity for the weekend, as well as take a peek at some of the highlighted booths in the vendor hall. This section is always worth your time, so I highly suggest that you take a peek at it when you get the chance. Let's move into the heart and soul of the event guide, the events of the weekend. The opening statements in the weekend event section were too good not to share, so let's read through them together. Are you ready? Quote, "Being a hero is not just about the happily ever after at the end of the story. For our princesses and queens, it's the courage to embark on the journey, jump out of the tower, open the restaurant, or find the fifth spirit. As a runner, it's the sweat and determination that goes into each training run, the resilience to rise after every fall, the unwavering commitment to reach our goals. In 2024, the Disney Princess Half Marathon Weekend invites you to join us in a celebration of the ways we are all heroes every day. Because each step forward, each act of kindness, each smile at a stranger, these are the moments that define your character and can change the world. Join us for a race or three and discover a brave new hero or heroine within with a whole lot of heart. Together, let's celebrate all of life's courageous moments, start lines, finish lines, and everything in between." End quote. I literally could not have written that better myself. Princess Half Marathon Weekend officially kicks off with the first event. Yes, I call it an event because it 100% is, the Expo. The Expo begins Thursday, February 22nd at 10 a.m. and runs until 8 p.m. that evening, Friday, February 23rd from 11 to 7, and Saturday, February 24th from 11 to 3 p.m. And it's located at the ESPN Wide World of Sports Complex. Transportation from the Walt Disney World Resorts, Swan and Dolphin, the Swolphin, and Shades of Green will begin 30 minutes prior to Expo opening and will continue 30 minutes post-Expo closing. If you have a personal vehicle and would like to drive yourself to the Expo, be my guest, be my guest. But please note, if you are Platinum or Gold Club Run Disney, you will have to figure out how to get to the Expo early on the first day if you plan to partake in your early shopping member benefits, because the buses will not be running at that time. Options for this include a personal vehicle, minivan, or other rideshare. Pro tip: there is no day of race bib pickup. Therefore, you have to attend the Expo prior to your race day. This means for the 5K runners, you have to attend on Thursday. No questions asked. Back again is the virtual queue for day one. Let me repeat, day one only for official merchandise. You may be wondering, how in tarnation do you join the virtual queue if you've never done so before? Well, you're in luck. Not only is it super easy, but I'll walk you through exactly how to do it. Make sure that you have the My Disney Experience app installed and logged into your device with location services turned on, okay? Pro tip, if you're wanting to shop with a group of friends or family, make sure that you are all linked in the app prior to the go live morning. You can have up to 6 people on your particular queue at a time, including yourself, so you and 5 family members or friends. Once you've added everyone to your party, you can join the queue at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and if you're within approximately 45 miles of the Walt Disney World Resort. Joining the queue is easy. All you need to do is tap the 3-line hamburger menu at the bottom right side of the app. From here, you'll tap Virtual Queues, and then you'll be prompted to join Virtual Queue. The Run Disney merchandise option will show here. Begin refreshing this page at 8:29 a.m. and click Join as soon as the option comes up to do so. If you've successfully joined the queue, you'll be shown a QR code and an approximate wait time and return time. This time is based off the Expo opening at 10, so don't be surprised if it shows a long wait time. When it's your turn to shop, you'll get a push notification where you will then have 1 hour to return to the Advent Health Arena. Follow the signs for check-in once you get to the arena and have the QR code ready to show the cast members. Enjoy your shopping experience. Pro tip, make sure that you get all of your shopping done in this one trip, as you will most likely not be able to rejoin the queue and enter for a second time on that same day. Those of you who are Club Run Disney Gold and Platinum only, don't worry about any of this, because you, my friends, get early access to merchandise on day 1. Platinum members can enter the merchandise section starting at 8:30 a.m. and Gold can enter starting at 9. Make sure you bring your membership card and ID with you. Platinum members, you will also have a special designated lounge with bib pickup located on the 2nd floor of the arena. Follow the signs and cast member direction if you are unsure of where to go. Okay, let's say you're like me previously and you get a return time slated for the afternoon. Whatever shall we do? Lucky for us, there's plenty to do elsewhere on the ESPN Wide World of Sports properties, such as bib pickup, photo ops, meetups, and vendors, so more shopping, and Joffrey's, yes. Bib pickup is located in the State Farm Field House. You'll need to make sure that you have your Expo check-in pass and ID in order to pick up your bib. According to the event guide, the Expo check-in pass will be loaded into your Run Disney account. You'll get an email, don't worry, on February 19th. Please note you will have to have your Expo check-in pass and ID to pick up your bib or bibs. A common question has always been, can so-and-so pick up my bib for me? Well, the answer has always been and will always be no. The only exception to this is if you are picking up the bib for a runner who is a minor, meaning under the age of 18. Please understand that registration for these events happened nearly a year ago. Therefore, you have had that much time to plan and make accommodations to be there to get your bib the day before your races begin. Also, make sure that your digital event waiver is signed prior to arrival at the Expo. In the event that your waiver is unable to be signed online, it's happened to me, don't worry. There will be paper forms for you to fill out, and then you'll hand those to the cast member at the booth where you pick up your bib. Also worth noting, if you have any trouble with your Run Disney account, there will be a booth here where they can troubleshoot with you. Issues can include, but are not limited to, race registrations disappearing, it's happened to me, login issues, etc. All right, hold on. Let me adjust my tinfoil tiara for a second. I noticed something in this infographic that I don't remember seeing before. Do you see it? Right there? Okay, it says characters. This is not my first rodeo, and I have slept some since the last time I did an event guide for Walt Disney World, but I do not remember ever seeing this on the layout map before. So here are my thoughts. This could potentially be Run Disney's way of dispersing the crowds and not have them concentrated in one place like the Advent Health Arena. Race weekends past, characters would be on the outskirts of the arena space and lines could get long for them, which only added to the overall total number of people in that space. With the introduction of the virtual queue, The people wanting to pop in just for character pics are still forced to wait for their return time, even if buying official merchandise wasn't going to be what they had planned on anyway. This way, maybe, if it's true, the crowds could be a little less in the official merchandise space. Is all of this speculation true? We'll find out in about a week. I also noticed the addition of Pandora in the middle of the presumptive race number displays. Those of you that know expos like the back of your hand like me may recall that Pandora has had a massive display. It's like a complete store in the vendor space. Couple this with other heavy hitter big expo players like Echelon, Fit to Run, and Shocks. The vendor space is significantly limited for smaller booths. Removing Pandora and placing it in the official merchandise section also frees up space for other vendors to have more room too. It's logical. Well, it is to me, at least. Race shirt pickup for all race distances, including the challenge, is located in the Athletic Center. Just a reminder, you have to have your bib in order to pick up your shirts. So if you choose to spend your first few minutes or hours in the Athletic Center, you will not be able to pick up your shirts just yet. Here's a pro tip. If after you get your bib, you make your way to get your shirts and you realize that they don't fit, there will be a place to exchange sizes here. Cast members and volunteers will be more than happy to assist you as long as supplies last. Exhibitors are located here and include fan favorites such as Sparkle Athletic, Bippity Boppity Brook, Fit to Run, Fluffy Fizzies, and many, many more. The Athletic Center is also where you can see upcoming medals for the remaining race weekends and maybe some sneak peeks at upcoming weekends too. If you're planning to gear check anything on the morning of the races, please utilize the clear plastic bag that you're given with your race shirts in it. No other bags will be accepted. Moving on to the races, the 5K. The 5K will be held on Friday, February 23rd with a start time of 5 a.m. Race start and finish are located in the Epcot parking lot. Resort transportation via bus begins at 3 a.m. Those of us riding in personal vehicles must park in the Epcot parking lot where parking is free with arrival prior to 4 a.m. After the race, bus transportation will be available back to your resort and is located here in the designated area on the map. Once you arrive to Epcot property, you'll go through security as if you're entering the park and then walk to the staging area. In this section, you will find gear check, food and beverage for purchase, character photo ops, spectator viewing, and the DJ stage. Corral open and close times are located in the event guide, but are also as follows. Corrals A through D all open at 3:45 a.m. Corral A closes at 4:40 a.m., B at 4:45 a.m., C at 5 a.m., and D once the start line is clear. Once the corrals open, runners only can proceed to their designated starting group. Your assigned corral will be located at the top of your bib and will be a letter A, B, C, D, E, etc. Please note if you're running with a group and you're in different corrals, the members in the higher corrals can always fall back to the lower ones, but you cannot jump into a higher one in order to run with your friends and family. Spectating for the 5K. Spectating options are limited as most of this course is through and around Epcot, and Epcot won't be open to the public yet. Spectating locations are located in the starting area and at the finish line only for this race. As with the pre-race party, your family is more than welcome and in fact encouraged to join you post-race for a celebration in the staging area. Characters will be back, food and beverage will be available, and there will be a dance party. The course. For the 5K, you're going to go straight, then make a right-hand turn, and then another right, and then another right, and then a left, and then another left, and then a right, and then a squiggle wiggle, and then a right, and then a left curveball, and then another left curveball, and then you're gonna do another left-hand turn, and then you're gonna like turn straight to the finish. Yes? Just kidding. Y'all know we're gonna talk so much more in depth about it, but also trust and believe that Kristen Rudd didn't think that her assistance with scripting would actually make it into this video. Well, sister, surprise! All right, in all seriousness, the 5K starts in the Rocket parking lot. Once you cross the start line, you'll make a right turn along the back of the parking lot where you'll begin to make your way backstage. Mile 1 is located just before the outdoor portion of Test Track. You'll then continue backstage and enter World Showcase between Mexico and Norway. Here's another tip. If you're needing a bathroom stop and porta parties aren't your jam, there are several standalone bathrooms in World Showcase, with the first being in Norway. Continue your tour of World Showcase running by China, Germany, Italy, the American Adventure, Japan, Morocco, and France. The one and only water stop on course will be located at the American Adventure. Mile 2 is located adjacent to the refreshment port and just before the port of entry shop. You'll continue like you're going to make another lap around World Showcase, only to hairpin turn, change directions towards Spaceship Earth near Disney Traders. I think the most exciting portion of this course is the fact that you'll run right by the new Walt Disney statue that was unveiled several weeks ago. This statue is part of the new World Celebration Gardens and, in my opinion, will be the photo to get on course for this race. Based on the experiences of friends from Marathon Weekend, the statue was in fact a Photopass stop, so we know that we'll be getting very close to it. I cannot wait. I can't wait to get my picture with Walt Disney while I'm dressed as the crazed kitchen chef, Chef Louis from The Little Mermaid. Dreams really do come true. Not only do you run by the original Dreamer, but you'll also once again run behind the attraction that should have been in Animal Kingdom. That's right, Journey of Water inspired by Moana. I am dying on this hill if you haven't noticed. It belongs in Animal Kingdom. Next, we'll make the familiar run by Creation Shop before making a right turn to run between Creation Shop and Connections Cafe. Again, like we did Marathon Weekend and Wine and Dine, we'll get to run literally right by Guardians of the Galaxy. Prior courses had us acknowledging Guardians from afar, but now we have continued to be upgraded to run right by it, and I mean right by it. You'll exit Epcot via the backstage area by Test Track and continue on to your glorious Royal Finish Line, which is located in the cast parking lot. Congratulations on your... The 10K. The 10K will be held on Saturday, February 24th. The 10K is the first race in the Fairy Tale Challenge. Race start time is 5 a.m. with a start and finish location in the Epcot parking lot. Resort transportation via buses begins at 3 a.m. Those of us riding in personal vehicles must park in the Epcot parking lot where parking is free with arrival prior to 4 a.m. After the race, bus transportation will be available back to your resort and located in the designated area here on the map. Once you arrive onto Epcot property, you'll go through security as if you're entering the park and then walk to the staging area. In this section, you'll find your gear check, food and beverage for purchase, character photo ops, spectator viewing, and the DJ stage. Corral open and close times are located in the event guide, but are also as follows. Corrals A through E all open at 3:45. Corral A closes at 4:40. Corral B at 4:45 a.m. C at 5 a.m. D at 5:15, and E once the start line is clear. Once the corrals open, runners only can proceed to their designated starting group. Your assigned corral will be located on the top of your bib and will be a letter A, B, C, D, E, etc. Please note, if you're running with a group and you're in different corrals, the members in the higher corrals can always fall back to the lower ones, but you cannot jump into a higher one in order to run with your friends or family. Spectating. Spectating for this distance serves up a few more options for seeing your favorite runner while on course. As with the 5K, the start and finish line areas are a very safe bet. However, if you or your friends or family are staying in the boardwalk area resorts, they will be able to see you as you run by. A portion of the course runs on the boardwalk resort side of the boardwalk area behind Epcot. If you choose to drive to the boardwalk area in order to cheer, you are at the mercy of the gate attendants in order to park. Remember, they are just doing their job and don't deserve your wrath if you're told that you can't park there. A word about spectating at the boardwalk versus the finish line. Due to the close proximity of those two locations, your friends and family will need to plan to see you at one or the other, not both. Due to road closures and the lack of Epcot being open, like they can't walk through it, it will be nearly impossible for them to make it to the finish line before you cross it. So as always, with the race weekend, communicate, communicate, communicate. The course. The 10K begins in the parking lot at Epcot. Once you toe the start line, you'll then be directed left towards the Epcot Toll Plaza, or the main gate, as I like to call it. Caution runners, speed bumps ahead. You'll continue on Epcot Center Drive and through mile 1 until you find yourself running one of the infamous exit ramps down towards World Drive. The first of 2 medical tents will be located at approximately mile 1.75. Mile 2 is located just before your first on-course water stop on World Drive. Keep up the pace and eyes on the prize as you approach yet another exit ramp, but this time for East Buena Vista Drive. Mile 3 is located just as you reach the bottom of the exit ramp. The second and final medical tent will be located on the corner of East Buena Vista Drive, and it's the backstage entrance to Disney's Hollywood Studios. The second of 3 water stops will be just in the backstage area and close to Fantasmic. Continue backstage near Rock and Roller Coaster and Tower of Terror. Get ready for your close-up, Mr. DeVille, because there will likely be multiple Photopass photographers stationed along Sunset Boulevard. You'll make a left backstage between Beauty and the Beast and Once Upon a Time Shop. Mile 4 is located near the bus bays for the Walt Disney World resorts. Keep on keeping on and make sure that you wear your patience pants for this next stretch of course. You and thousands of your new friends will be navigating the always narrow walkway between Hollywood Studios and the boardwalk. Teresa and I have affectionately renamed this No Personal Space Alley. After you emerge from the sidewalks and the official boardwalk sign is in sight, you'll turn right and begin to make your way around the boardwalk. You'll reach mile 5 on or just after the bridge linking the boardwalk to the International Gateway. After a quick trip backstage, you'll come to the final water stop before the finish line. Begin the home stretch by running by Canada, the port of entry, between Creation Shop and Connections Cafe, wave to the Guardians, and leave the park between Mission Space and Test Track. Mile 6 is located backstage and within eyeshot of the finish line. Cross the finish line in the employee parking lot and celebrate your 10K success. Congratulations. Half Marathon. The Half Marathon runs Sunday, February 25th with a race start and finish in the Epcot parking lot. Race start time is 5 a.m. Resort transportation via bus begins at 2:30 a.m. Those of us riding in personal vehicles must park in the Epcot parking lot where parking is free with arrival prior to 4 a.m. After the race, bus transportation will be available back to your resort and is located in the designated area here on the map. If you're staying at a monorail resort, so the Contemporary, the Poly, or the Grand Floridian, I call it the Grand, whatever, you must use the monorail to reach Epcot on the half marathon morning. You must, okay? Everyone got their listening ears on because this next part is really important and I don't want you to miss it. If you're driving a personal vehicle on Sunday, you have to be parked in Epcot before 4 a.m. Why? Because they're shutting down the roads that enter Epcot because they're part of the course. And that would stink, okay? Once you arrive to Epcot property, you'll go through security as if you're entering the park and then walk to the staging area. In this section, you'll find gear check, food and beverage for purchase, character photo ops, spectator viewing, and the DJ stage. Corral open and close times are located in the event guide, but are also as follows. A through C all open at 3:15 a.m. and Corrals D and E open at 3:45. Corral A closes at 4:40 a.m., B at 4:45, C at 5:10, D at 5:30, and E once the start line is clear. Once the corrals open, runners only can proceed to their designated starting group. Your assigned corral will be located on the top of your bib and will be letter A, B, C, D, E, etc. Please note, if you're running with a group and you're in different corrals, the members in the higher corrals can always fall back to the lower ones. You cannot jump into the higher ones in order to run with your friends or family. Spectating. Arguably, the best spectating happens during the half marathon. Why would I ever make such a bold claim? Because it's true. There are a plethora of options for spectating this course, so let's break them all down and I'll fill you in on how to access them all. The start and finish line are available to spectate from for this race as well, and you can reach these locations the same way your runner does each race morning. If the TTC is more your fancy, you're in luck. The TTC will be accessible via the monorail beginning at 5:15 and until 7 a.m. or until the balloon ladies cross through. The TTC is located at approximately mile 3.7. If your cheer squad is staying at the Contemporary Resort, they can come down and cheer for you as you enter Magic Kingdom along World Drive. Again, this section is only accessible to guests staying at the Contemporary Resort. The Contemporary is located at approximately mile 4.5. The granddaddy of all spectating spots is arguably Main Street USA in the Magic Kingdom. Good news is that you do not need a park ticket to enter Magic Kingdom on race morning, but you will have to access it only from the monorail. As with the TTC, you'll park at Epcot with your runner or ride the bus transportation from the resort with them, and then hop onto the monorail from there. My advice from multiple cheering adventures on Main Street is to get there early. Main Street is approaching mile 5 of the course, and cheering sections are located from the entrance tunnel all the way down Main Street on the left side, so the Emporium and Casey's side. Spectators will be ushered out of Magic Kingdom after the balloon ladies have made their way through. Allow me to interject something here, okay? Stay on Main Street as long as there are runners going through. When I cheered on Main Street during marathon weekend, the crowd began to dwindle as the later corrals started coming through. Okay, y'all, please stay. Those runners need your cheers and encouragement as much and maybe even more than the ones that were in the faster corrals. Please stay. Promise me that you will stay, please. Okay, next. If you're staying at the Grand Floridian, you can cheer from the main entrance off of Floridian Way, which is approximately mile 6.5, and in the heart of Cone Alley. The last possible Magic Kingdom area spectating spot is from the Polynesian Resort area, which is again accessible to guests staying at that resort. The Poly is located at approximately mile 7. This course does not run through the boardwalk area, so if you and your squad are staying there, they will need to plan on seeing you elsewhere for this course. There is potential for you to cheer from the inside of Epcot, as there are early entry hours for resort guests starting at 9:30 a.m. If your runner is quick like lightning, they will probably be through this portion well before 9:30. If, however, they're like me and will be getting their money's worth on the course, you could potentially see them as they make their way around the new garden area where the Walt statue is located, the walkway connecting the Journey into Imagination Pavilion to the main walkway, or near Spaceship Earth right before the exit backstage. In my opinion, at that point, you might as well just be out at the finish line rather than in Epcot. If you choose to be in Epcot, you will need a valid ticket and park reservation to enter that morning. The course. If you studied up on the maps of the half marathon during marathon weekend last month, guess what? This is the exact course we were supposed to run before it was cut to half of a half, thanks to inclement weather. This also means that some of us are finally about to take a long overdue trip through Magic Kingdom and run through the castle, something that I personally haven't done in exactly a year. It's too long. Race start is in the same place as the previous mornings, the Rocket parking lot. After Carissa, John, and Riley send us through the start line, we'll veer left onto Woodpecker Lane, which runs parallel to Epcot Center Drive. New and absolutely unpopular is the addition of a ramp prior to mile 1. Yes. Your first water stop is located just before the ramp begins, and the ramp is located just through the main gate toll plaza. It will direct you on and towards World Drive. A word of advice from someone who can't stand the on-off ramps and the havoc that it wreaks on my ankles and knees, okay? Get to the far right and walk in the grass. The grassy area is more flat compared to the pitch of the roadway, and it's naturally easier to navigate. Those of you running, get to the far left and run on that side of the grass. It'll be flatter there too. Thank me later, you're welcome. The first med tent is located at the end of this ramp, and you might need it, I don't know. Mile 2 and a med tent are found on World Drive. Continue on your way up World Drive until you reach another water and medical stop just prior to mile 3 and your arrival at the TTC parking lot. The TTC will be one of the first places a large portion of spectators will be, so get ready for a much needed power up. Mile 4 approaches at the TTC and get ready. You're almost to Magic Kingdom. Another water and medical stop are located right through the TTC, where you'll continue on Topiary Lane before merging back onto World Drive. This is one of the portions of the course that does get narrow. One side of the traffic will be blocked for us to run in, but the other will remain open for traffic. So please resist the urge to run on the opposite side of the cones for your own safety, okay? This narrow section is only less than a mile, so adjust your expectations accordingly, all right? Wave to the Contemporary on your right and get ready to enter the bus bay of the Magic Kingdom. You made it, hooray! Run through the main turnstiles of Magic Kingdom and be sure to look up at the train station. There might be someone special there waving at you. Mile 5 is located just through the entrance into Magic Kingdom. Run up Main Street and stay in the moment. This is the part you've always heard of, the part that you've dreamt about. They have shut down Main Street for you. People are cheering for you. All of those tears in training, the disbelief that you could even do this, the doubt, all of it, it's gone now. You're running the stretch of course that was once just a dream. So slow up and take it all in. Cry if you need to, laugh, smile, dance, just be there. Trust me when I say that no matter how many times you've walked up Main Street on a normal park day, those will now pale in comparison to this. When I tell you there's nothing like it, I mean it. I really do mean it. Once you've reached the end of Main Street, you'll continue towards the right and take the first bridge to Tomorrowland. Keep your eyes peeled as there will start to be a lot of Photopass photographers here. Continue towards Tomorrowland until you reach the launching pad and then veer left towards Tomorrowland Speedway. Keep on course running by the teacups, then beside Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. You'll then pass by Storybook Circus, Journey of the Little Mermaid, and Gaston's Tavern before making your way back towards the carousel. Get ready. This is the next part people always talk about, running through the castle. Pro tip for photos here. If you want an unobstructed castle shot, make sure that you are all the way to the left on the walkway. Don't let anyone get in between you and the railing. Make your way down the ramp. Halfway down, start the show pony prance. There will be photographers seated on the ground shooting upward in order to get you and the castle in the frame. This little tip has worked every single time. Again, thank me later, you're welcome. Once you're through the castle, you'll be directed to the first bridge to Liberty Square, veer left, and then continue to run the path to Adventureland. Once you've reached Big Thunder Mountain territory, we'll take a quick hairpin turn and get an even better look at Tiana's Bayou Adventures, formerly Splash Mountain. I will tell you, this is an uphill path in this one section, and the first time I ran this portion, it came as a shock to me at how much of an uphill it actually is, so be prepared. That wraps up our time on stage at Magic Kingdom, and we'll head backstage to where the parade floats are stored and the parades step off each day. Historically, there have been characters and such back here. I would expect the same for this part. Honestly, I really like this part. I love seeing where the floats are while they're resting, you know? Mile 6 is located as we leave backstage for Magic Kingdom and is followed very quickly by a water and medical tent. Buckle up, Buttercups. It's time for Cone Alley, or Floridian Way as it's more officially called. Just as you have experienced prior to Magic Kingdom with one lane closed off for runners and the other opened, it's the same song, second Disney verse, but this time with more traffic. There will most likely be a character stop or two along this stretch to, keep it interesting. But remember, pack your patience. We're all crammed into this together. The road will begin to widen back up around mile 7, which is just prior to the Grand Floridian main entrance. There has recently been a lot of construction back at this section, so we won't know exactly what it'll look like until we're there, especially since we didn't get to run it during marathon weekend. Mile 8 is nearly parallel to mile 3 and is found as we pass by the TTC parking lot. A medical tent will also be located just through mile 8. The one and only nutrition stop for the course is stationed right before the Speedway gas station. Another water stop is found prior to your entrance to the final ramp of the course, the ramp from World Drive back to Epcot Center Drive. Mile 10 is a quarter of your way up this ramp, and guess what? You've only got a 5K to go. Continue on Epcot Center Drive, which, sorry to say, is a gradual uphill. Mile 11 marks the final mile marker on the open road, and you'll quickly make the final turn back to Epcot after the water stop, of course. Welcome to another one of my new favorite places to see family and friends, the bus bays of Epcot. The final water stop is located as you enter backstage. Mile 12 will be stationed backstage directly behind the seas and well before you get to the land. Final entrance on stage occurs by the Imagination Pavilion, and we'll begin the pilgrimage to see Walt, the original dreamer. Just as with the 5K, we'll be treated to a run through of the New World Celebration Gardens and somewhere near, if not right by, the Walt Disney Dreamer statue. We'll leave this area through a portion of the walkways that was previously hidden by construction walls, and then by Connections Cafe before making our way past guest relations. Spaceship Earth will be to your left as you leave Epcot backstage. Mile 13 is right after the final turn, and a few more strides, you're at the finish line. Congratulations on your half marathon. Yoga. If you were one of the lucky few to get the hot ticket of the weekend, Princess Yoga, this next portion of the video is for you. I know in the past that I have said that I would never fight you over a spot for yoga. Well, I'm officially eating my words, and I'm now ready to throw a royal elbow because Disney Yoga is fantastic. New this year is the fact that yoga takes place on Monday, February 26th at 5:30 a.m. The last several times this has been offered, it's been the same morning as day one of the Expo, which makes for a really long day. This is a 1-hour yoga experience, which will include a yoga mat, carrying strap, and a bottle of water. You must bring your photo ID and complete yoga check-in pass to the event. Please note, transportation to this event is limited. Okay, one more time. Transportation to this event is limited. If you're staying at an on-property resort and miss the bus, you've missed yoga. All right, I urge you, I beg of you, please take a look at the schedule as listed in the digital event guide to see the specific times that your bus will arrive at your resort for yoga transportation. Y'all, the window is small. It's like 5 minutes, all right? Now, if you're driving a personal vehicle to this event, you'll need to be at Disney's Transportation and Ticket Center, or the TTC, by 4 a.m. The parking lot to the TTC will open by 3:45. Security will open at 4, and you must arrive by 5 in order to participate. Guests arriving at the TTC will be transported to the Magic Kingdom via ferry boat, and those arriving after 5 a.m. are, well, out of luck. Please note the walking paths and monorails will not be available as a transportation option for yoga. Spots along Main Street and in front of the castle for this experience are first come, first serve. So if the castle is priority for you, I would suggest being at the TTC and in line to park and go through security early. Right. Let's start to, park this coach. Let's let the magic carpet take a rest. Yeah, you know what I mean? But before we do, I want to go over some general information that is useful to all runners, no matter your race distance or your pace. Let's talk race etiquette. Wearing headphones is fine, but please be aware of your surroundings, especially in the corrals and starting areas. Cast members and the MC staff will be relaying important information to you via the PA system, and you'll want to be able to hear it. Next, make sure that your bib is on the front of your person. Your bib has to be completely visible so that it can let runDisney staff know that you're supposed to be there, and so you can get your race photos after the race. If at any point you were caught on course without your bib, you will be removed. This is a safety issue for all the other runners and cast members, and they want to ensure the safety of all runners who are supposed to be on the course. If you're running intervals, proper etiquette is for runners to be on the left side of the road and walkers to be on the right. Raise your hand as you approach your walking segment so as to warn people around you that you will be changing speed. If you don't raise your hand to warn and abruptly stop, you risk injuring not only yourself, but those around you who will inevitably run into you. Biggest take home in regards to etiquette is to remember the golden rule. Treat others as you want to be treated, and I'm adding this one on, remember that you are not the only runner on the course, okay? Also, as with everything, it is what you make of it, okay? Don't let someone's bad attitude or morning grouchies ruin your experience. Photopass, let's talk photos. On the back of your bib, as well as in the digital event guide, you will find a code to enter on your My Disney Experience app and get your race pictures. If you've purchased Memory Maker or have an annual pass with Memory Maker, you'll have unlimited downloads of these photos. If you haven't purchased Memory Maker, you'll still be able to see the pictures, but they will have the watermarks on them and you will be unable to download them. Photopass photographers will be located all along the course, but in greatest numbers in the parks. You'll be able to see them by their giant rectangle lights and neon lime green huts. There will always be more than one photographer, and they are trained to take pictures very quickly, okay? Please do not stop in front of them. Don't. They got your picture, I promise. Also, please do not dart in front of other people in order to get the shot. Again, they got it, promise. Remember, your bib must be worn on the front of your person with the number visible so that your photos can be correctly sent your direction. Y'all, we made it. Oh my gosh. Okay. I hope this answered any and all burning questions about the Princess Half Marathon Weekend courses, the Expo, yoga, and whatever else you can think of. If by chance I didn't cover something here, please refer to the digital event guide linked below or leave your questions in the comments section down below. I hope to see y'all next week. I'm so excited. Make sure that you like, comment, subscribe, tell your friends. I'll see you in the next one. Happy running, safe travels. Oh, I can't wait. Okay,